It's mailbag time here on Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. I am Tom Downey, and I'm asking two things of you guys if you want to be a part of these mailbags in the future. Number one, got to be subscribed. Otherwise, it's just not going to get picked, your question, I should say. And to make our lives easier and have them be the first ones that we find, use hashtag Steelers in the comments when asking your question, because that's just how we are able to sort things on the YouTube side. So do those two things if you want to be a part of future mailbags, which we'll do frequently here at Chat Sports. You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. It's your boy, Tom Downey, here once again. Let's break down all of your questions. And there are a lot of trade ones, which I love. And we begin with Albert Horta's. Steelers get DK Metcalf and a sixth, and the Seahawks get Deontay Johnson and 2 third-round picks. The idea here, of course, is you're adding a premier receiver, you're shipping out Deontay Johnson plus some picks to upgrade and not have to pay both guys. I would wonder if Seattle would prefer a more premium pick than just 84 overall, but this does give them a young, talented receiver, so I understand why you're including Deontay Johnson as part of this trade. If you could pull it off, I'm all for it. Corey Brown has a similar-ish idea to get Deebo Samuel, the subject of all of the NFL trade rumors right now, Deontay Johnson, and a second-round pick. I would wonder if Johnson and a second is more along the baseline minimum of what both teams could be searching for. Deebo, of course, requested a trade. I think it comes down to money. DK Metcalf wants to be traded. Teams think he could be dealt, but the Seahawks have said, no, we're not trading him. Both guys through 3 years have been premier young wide receivers. They've averaged over 1,000 yards of total offense each year. Of course, Deebo brings you the dynamic running ability, which maybe you don't want to have necessarily if you're Pittsburgh because you have Najee Harris, although allegedly Deebo doesn't want to do the running back stuff anymore. I'm honestly not sure if that's true. It might be a well-placed leak to drive the national narrative, but both guys would be the number one receiver in an upgrade, with respect meant, over Deontay Johnson. It's a matter of, do you want to pay a more premium contract and give up a draft pick, a premium one, to go get that type of player? So pick one to trade for. Who would you rather have if you were the Steelers if you had to go trade for one? S for Deebo Samuel, M for DK Metcalf. This will be the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Next up from Ramtic, how would you feel if the Steelers take a receiver in the first? Depends on which one. If it's one of the big five, the somewhat consensus, asterisk, because never really a consensus in the draft, the big five receivers of Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, Chris Olave, and Jameson Williams, I would be fine with it. If the corners aren't there that you want, if the safety's not there that you want, I think any of these five receivers, the Steelers would say this was the best player on our board. Now, you've also invested premium-ish picks in Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson. Maybe that's an issue for you. But talent-wise, these guys are all awesome. They're all really good football players. So if you're not going QB or corner or offensive line or whatever, I wouldn't be mad at either of these five guys ending up a Steeler in this year's draft. When it comes to position, kind of piggybacking off this question, what one would you want to draft in round one? Is it safety, corner, offensive line, QB if you're not sold on Trubisky? Let me know right now in the comments section. From Ducky39, some Fox Sports guy thinks the Steelers are going to trade up 2-6 for Malik Willis. Well, before I answer this and my thoughts on it, here's about what the trade would be. Now, this is the rough value using the trade value chart, and it actually favors Pittsburgh. It is less than what they have to give up, but maybe it's not that expensive of this year because, well, it's a bad QB class. That's a lot. To get to number 6, it costs you a first, a second, a third, and that's if Carolina takes less than the actual value. That's a lot to go get a QB who I am not sold is a franchise guy. I have a non-first-round grade on him. I don't want to do that. That's way too much to go for a QB this year. I don't think there's one worth really your entire draft class. That's too much. Malik Willis might be a franchise guy. First, second, and a third, I'm out. So what do you guys think? Would you trade up for a QB at that particular cost? Y for yes or N for no? Pittsburgh has been linked heavily to QBs this year via trade up or standing pat at number 20. In fact, you can bet on Pittsburgh getting a QB with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Steelers125 will get you a 125% deposit bonus when you use promo code Steelers125. Go check them out today. You'll find that you can bet on who drafts Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, the two QBs frequently linked to Pittsburgh. Steelers are plus 400 for Kenny Pickett and plus 325 for Malik Willis. So if you are convinced Pittsburgh ends up with one of those two guys, bet on both. Put 5, 10, 15 bucks of your deposit bonus on those picks, both of them. And because they're all at least plus 325, you are guaranteed to make money. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Steelers125. From Finn Isaiah Docs KSI, I think it's an I, not an L, but I can't, I's and L's, right? Should the Steelers sign Ryan Fitzpatrick for a one-year deal if they do not draft a QB? You can if you want. Do you need to? I don't know if Fitz will play again. If that hip injury was really bad for him, he was already on the back nine of his career. You've got Mitchell Trubisky. You've got Mason Rudolph. Is Fitzpatrick an upgrade over those guys? No. Maybe at best it's a similar level of QB players. If you want three veterans, sure. I would almost wonder if you roll with two QBs and then sign a UDFA to be your other guy for the preseason. I think you'll give the reps to Trubisky and Rudolph. I don't see the major benefit of adding Fitzpatrick. Mark Collins says, go get, I assume you mean Andre Dillard, and go get Cam Robinson, the Eagles left tackle and the Jags left tackle. Here are the problems that you run into here, and they're twofold. Not that good, especially Cam Robinson. I don't think is a great football player. He was franchise tagged by Jacksonville, so you want to give him a new long-term deal. He did play more snaps than Dillard, but the hurries, the hits, the run grade from PFF were all not very good. I like Andre Dillard a lot. That is the one that intrigues me more if you were going to go out and trade for a player, a left tackle in this particular situation. The penalties are a red flag there, but he's a really good pass protector. And I think as a left tackle, he is an upgrade over Dan Moore. Maybe you're not out on Dan Moore at this point, but I think trading for both guys is not going to happen because you have Chucks and you paid a core for. So you've committed to him for at least the time being as your right tackle. I think you could maybe get Cam Robinson from Jacksonville. I know you could get Dillard from Philadelphia. Both guys, no. One of them, maybe. Now, if the Steelers make a trade, we will break it down for you. So if you have not already, subscribe to us here at Steelers Talk. YouTube.com/Steelers TV. You're watching on YouTube right now, so just click that big red button and get free videos on the Pittsburgh Steelers every single day. Finally, Ron Lindgren has all of the moves. Sign Tyrann Mathieu, draft Jordan Davis or Chris Olave in the first, trade up in the second for Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral, Sam Howell, sit him for a year to learn the Steelers offense. Okay, player by player. Tyrann Mathieu, I'm in. You got me sold. Davis or Olave? Sure. You filled your safety need. You can maybe add a corner if you want to go that route instead. Jordan Davis, I don't know if he's there. I'm not sure Olave is there. If one of them is, I would be on board drafting them. It fills a need and or it's great player value for a guy like Jordan Davis. Of the three QBs you mentioned, I would most like to have Desmond Ridder. I think Ridder is the best of those three players. I think he's a lot more pro-ready than Corral is, who's got the quick release but doesn't read defenses. Sam Howell doesn't do that either, and he's super antsy under pressure. So if you can get Ridder in the second, which is still it's not quite the ideal value I think you would like to have, I think that's a fine off-season plan. If you do all three of those things, I think you feel pretty good about where the Steelers are at entering the 2022 campaign.